What is going on, everyone? Thanks for stopping by. Gamer to Know here, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to fix the Xbox stick drift. If you're encountering a stick drift on any of these analog sticks, I think I may be able to help. So I made this video on how to fix the PlayStation 5 controller, which got over 500,000 views. And a lot of the comments mentioned down below if this works on a Xbox controller. So I decided to buy a controller off eBay with a stick drift, and I'm gonna find out if I could fix the stick drift on an Xbox controller the same method as in that video, by cleaning the potentiometer and changing the wipers. So checking the gamepad tester, we could see that this analog stick, the right one, is pulling up. This one seems to be okay, but the right one is pulling up. So we have an idea that this is the stick drift we're going to work on, and this is the stick drift that we're going to try to clean and replace the wipers for. So before you get started, you're going to need specific tools in opening up the Xbox One controller. Unlike the PlayStation controller, which uses just a standard screwdriver like this, you're going to need some torch screwdrivers like this. And this kit here I got on Amazon. I think it was like $9 or $10. I'm going to leave the link below, so if you're interested to purchase something like this. But basically it's going to come with all the torch screwdrivers you're going to need to open the Xbox One controller, as well as this heavy duty metal prying tool and some wipes or whatever. So definitely pick something like this up to get this process going. So the next part is to take the controller apart, and we're going to use our metal prying tool here, and we're just going to peel off this back shells here on the corner. So we're just going to stick it in and twist it. And it's good to have this metal prying tools because the Xbox controllers are a little bit more difficult to open up. Just stick it in there and just give it a little twist, and it should come off. Once that is off, we're going to use this torch screwdriver that came with that kit I talked about, and we're going to just open these four. Once we have those four open, we're going to open this one up, and there's another screw here. It's in the center. And this is a good way to tell if this controller has been opened up already and tampered with. So this is a good sign. This controller has not been opened. So we're just going to go ahead and put that in there, and we're going to get that last screw in here. And this will tell now that this controller has been opened. So most likely, if there's any warranty on this controller, it's gone. Now once we get that fifth screw out, now we could just peel this off and peel this off. Once we're here, we're going to use the smaller screwdriver that came with the kit. So these are different screws, but that kit I showed you has all the necessary screwdrivers. So we're going to just go ahead and start opening these ones up. There should be four of them. 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one. So it's a little bit difficult working with these cubes with this case still on. So we're going to try to get this board taken apart here, which I think this comes off if we just pull on it. There we go. And you have to be very careful because there are a lot of different cables here that we don't want to mess up with. So we're just trying to flip this over that we have a better access to the board and those cubes. There we go. That's what I wanted. So this is the right analog. So this is the one that we know has that stick drift. So if we look closer at this cube, and it looks something like this. So when you're moving the joystick around, you see that when you move it this way, this potentiometer spins back and forth. And if you move it in this way, this one controls this direction. So what happens when stick drift occurs is, let me just open these up and show you what's inside. So inside here you have these little white wipers. So when you're moving the joystick around, it's making this movement. If we remove these white wiper out of the potentiometer here, the wipers have a little metal on them, and the metal contacts this carbon track. So what happens over time, these wipers, they could wear out, or the carbon tracks wears out. So when it turns, it doesn't give a accurate reading, and that's stick drift occurs because they're using these, as you can see, plastic cheap little devices here that deteriorate over time. And they're known to deteriorate, and we all know that they do deteriorate. So since we know that this potentiometer controls the up and down movement, we're going to go ahead and start working on that and get it cleaned up and replaced. So the first thing we want to do is carefully open this up. And let's get this wiper out of there to take a look at it. So we can see the wiper changed color, but we're going to go ahead and replace it. Aside from that, we're also going to go ahead and clean this up. First, I'm going to use the electronic duster just to get some debris out if there is any. And also I have a contact cleaner, BW100, and this is great for electronics. Just going to shake it up and squirt some in there. And just dry it out. So I'm going to use the potentiometer from this new one. You can pick these up on Amazon. I'll leave a link down below. If you don't have a spare one, you could always clean it with some rubbing alcohol and see if that works. Now let's assemble it back and see if that solved the problem. So just make sure that this part is connected to the board. We don't have to put the controller back together to test it. So what we're going to do is just plug it in here. The sticks are steady now. This is the one that had that issue. It was going to the right, but now as you could see, it snapped back into center. So there you guys go. The next step is to put this controller together, and that's how you fix a stick drift. And there we go. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and it's not that hard. This was actually my first time opening up a Xbox controller, so if I can do it, I'm sure you guys could follow along and do it as well. I encourage you guys to fix your stick drifts because it's happening a lot, and from these videos I've been making, the comments are just crazy how much people are experiencing the stick drifts. I had no idea so many people had this issue, but I'm trying to find the best way to fix it, and this is probably the most, it's not the most convenient way to fix it because you do have to take it apart. There's other videos where you're blowing on it and you're doing all this other weird stuff, and from my experience that doesn't work. You have to, you know, get to the root of the problems, and it's these little, you know, module sticks that are pretty crappy and they wear out pretty quick. Check out my channel, my other videos. I go into more on the stick drift and how much hours before it occurs, and just more data stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching again. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't yet, and let me know what other videos you guys looking forward to, and I'll try my best to make. Thanks, and have a good one.